Good morning and welcome to Situation Today with Gulf Business. My name is Nisha. I'm the editor of Gulf Business, and my guest today is Amreen Iqbal, the creator and founder of Piece of You, which is creating a buzz in the world of personalized jewelry. Welcome to our studios.
Thank you, Nisha. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Just to start off, I hear you've launched a new collection. Tell me more about it.
So we're actually coming up with something amazing for spring. Mm-hmm. We're going to have two different lines. One is going to be very colorful and spring oriented, and the other one's a little more heavier pieces, more heavier but yet daily wear. It'll be up in a week, so
watch very excited to learn more about that. But before we even get to learn a little bit about that and your inspiration for that collection, if you could tell us a little bit about, growing up in a family that has a legacy steeped in jewelry. How did that influence your own journey, as the founder of Piece of You? If you could tell us a little. I mean, your dad's the illustrious, first merchant, and your brother's Korean merchant who's managing pure gold.
Correct.
So if you could tell us a little about that, I'm so interested in knowing.
So, having both Kareem and Dad as my role models in every aspect, especially my father, he's instilled such strong values in Kareem and myself. He's also taught us the importance of good leadership, not just leadership. From every aspect of home and business, he's truly inspired, even today, for me to have even started Piece of You, to how I run it with my own team, to how I manage between my home life as a mother and obviously, and then come to work as a business entrepreneur. Just to see him do it for so many years, I think it's just in our blood now. We've always looked up to him, and now we want to be him. So in every aspect, I would say he's been my role model.
So since we're talking about that, what are some of the values that, you think that are such an incredible lesson to you that you've carried forward in your own business?
The biggest is honesty. He has taught us it's better to lose a customer than to be dishonest. He has been so fair to everybody, all his team, all the time. He's taught us, especially me being a woman, he's taught me the value of balance between home life and work life, where he's explained the importance of, yes, of course, running your own business, but also learning when and how to prioritize what aspect of life. Values, like I said, I don't remember one growing up in my early age or even in my teens where I've needed him and he's not been there. So despite building an empire for himself at that point, when we were so young, he was still there for us. So which is the same values that he's instilled for me to do the same for my kids, hopefully.
Right.
So like we say, he's a legend. He truly is a legend.
Well, that's great to know. And I'm sure there's some interesting conversations at the table when it comes to business.
And that's all we would do, to be honest. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I remember when we were even in our early age and, like I said, teens, at dinner table, or our conversations would just revolve around work. I think very rarely would it be something about how's the weather. It was never as, superficial in that. It was always, I think he just expected us to know. And then he just spoke to us like adults from a young age. And that kind of just made us think that this is how it is. Some might say it's a lot of pressure, but it is how we loved it. And we're so glad.
And I think that's what's, made you the entrepreneur you are today.
Correct. Absolutely.
And just in terms of, seeing that you're a mother for wonderful, lovely kids, and you have a growing team. How do you balance this? I mean, as a leader, as an entrepreneur?
To be very honest with you, every day is different. Every day is different. Like some days I know that my kids need me more. And some days I know that I will have to tell my husband to step in, or sometimes even my kids' grandparents, which is again my dad, or even Kareem and his wife are actually really present in our lives. So if I need that, everybody else steps in. Like, they say it takes a village, and it genuinely takes a village. As much as I am obviously available for my kids, like every morning, every afternoon, I make sure I work during times when they're in school. So when I come home, then my focus is primarily them, because I want to shape them to be good leaders, good human beings, genuine people. That to me is the biggest thing. Genuine people with kindness. if I've succeeded in that, I think I'm successful in motherhood. You know, business success you can count with numbers, but motherhood, this is the only way to know that you've raised compassionate next generation.
And that's amazing to hear. You know, you've talked about your kids when we met previously, and it's always
they're actually they are actually the reason Piece of You was born. So they're actually a piece of me.
Well, it's wonderful to you, and obviously emotions are so very important to you, and that comes through. As you've also said before that jewelry it's more personal. It's not just an embellishment, but it's deeply connected to memories, to the stories, and to important stages in your life. And how, if you can go back, in this journey of Piece of You, and tell me what's the first piece that you created that set that path for creating more such beautiful collections. If you could go back and...
So this is actually really, really special to me, like sentimentally and emotionally, and even in every aspect. I just think, so when I first created a necklace, my eldest 2 kids' names start with Z, and mine and my husband's name starts with A. So I'd created a necklace which says A to Z. So it was A2 and 2Z. So, but it would just say A to Z.
Right.
But at that time, there was no Piece of You. That is when I used to work with family business and having the benefit of our own factory and our own production facilities. And obviously, even at Pure Gold, I was the jewelry designer there as well. So I was able to customize something for myself. And then lo and behold, 2 years later, I was born with another child whose name starts with an O. It's like, oh, I can't wear this necklace anymore. Don't want Omar to feel left out. So then I designed one with 3 kids on it.
Okay.
And my that time youngest, so 3-year-old, the third child was born. They were all under 5. So I was like, okay, this is a lot to handle on a daily basis, with the 2 toddlers and then 1 newborn. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of break, and then we'll see where things go. Then when I designed that necklace and it came home, because it was not working at that point, so it was delivered to my home, and my husband saw it and he's like, wow. And I was like, why are you so surprised? Thanks. But he actually encouraged me and he pushed me to do it, because he was so in awe of the necklace and the fact that it was so meaningful. And obviously he knew that I was thinking, how can I add Omar into that A to Z? But an entirely new concept came in. And when he saw the necklace with the 3 children, he's like, this is your calling. This is what you should be doing.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, but, it's, again, a lot of effort to start your own business. But again, because I'd always worked, for me, it was more, fine, let's try it. Because I had the facilities, I had the back-end resources, I had the family backing in that sense. And this is genuinely all I'd known. I'd grown up with diamonds in my blood. So I was like, okay, let's try it. And then I made a gift for another friend. And then when I obviously used to wear my necklace to nursery to pick up my other older kids, the toddlers, a lot of moms would ask. And within months, I still have the first few screenshots of my first few customers. And I was in awe of my own self. Wow, how quickly did this pick up? So that's when I realized that there's a niche. Obviously Dubai is the city of gold. Everybody knows Dubai as the base of buying good jewelry.
Absolutely.
So that benefit is there. But then people really want something personalized, something customized, something that's emotionally important to them. So I tried to create jewelry with a soul. Something that becomes a piece of you. It becomes a part of you. And from there has been no looking back. And touch wood, it's genuinely done so well.
Well, congratulations on your success. But just to understand, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people come to you and you work a lot through online, the online platform as well. Right. Can you walk us through how the process starts? If somebody, say, one of our listeners or viewers wants to buy a piece of jewelry from you, and which is connected to a Dibame, how does that process go? If you could walk us through.
So now our website is quite customizable, where we have our basic everyday designs, which generally do really well, like the name necklaces, the family necklaces, the initials, the bestsellers. And you go on there and then you choose exactly what you want in the color of gold you want, in the family division that you want, whether it's 1 child, 3 children, 4 children, 2 children, in the color of gold that you like, in the style that you'd like. you go that way. But if you want completely customizable, we're available on WhatsApp. And we either you tell us what you like, or then you give us a few pointers that, I want to combine my marriage with me moving to another country, or, and then obviously before it used to be me, but now me and my team both design it. And we sent you a few sketch options. From there, you approve it, the costing works. And then we move to step 2, where we start the production, and it's delivered to the comfort of your home within 6 to 8 days. So it's completely unique. Only you have it. And you didn't even leave your home to get it.
Wow. That's especially for a busy place like Dubai. Yes. I think, or the UAE, that's great to hear. A lot of people think customized jewelry is going to be really expensive. So if you could, I know you use quality stones, the best,
And again, this comes from being in the family business,
absolutely.
Because Pure Gold had over 100 shops. So they have the benefit of bulk buying.
Right.
And then I have the benefit of being the family. So that works really well, where I can have minimal costs, and which for me translates into minimum selling price. For me, it's never really been about making money. It's more about sharing my passion. It's about sharing my vision of what I want women to feel when they wear a piece of jewelry. Right. It's not just an embellishment, like you said, where you just put it on and you've enjoyed that moment. Sure. It's not. It's something you enjoy forever, and you relate to it. That, oh yes, I bought it when my second child was born, and then when you have a third, come back to us. We'll add the third child. We're happy to make changes.
So that's the journey that you have with somebody, literally through their life stages.
I've had customers who've bought when their first kids are born, and then obviously in the last 7 years they've had additional additions, or I'm like, yes, please, I'm more than happy to do it, because like I said, it's a piece of you. And obviously your life changes, daily changes, environment changes, your wishes changes, you want something added, something removed. That's why we're here.
Change, yes, absolutely. And that's great to know that it's quite accessible. It's otherwise a lot of people tend to know it's really very, very expensive, and can I spend something on, just something that matters to me?
I have prices starting from 800 dirhams.
Well, that's good to hear.
In diamond
that's good
jewelry,
to hear, yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
But again, because for me, it is more about sharing my passion than having financial growth.
Well, I do hope, and I know that financial growth has been part of the journey, yes, and I've seen that you've gone from success to success, yes. And that's great news as well. Yes. What makes you stand out? I mean, there are players in the market, and price ranges are again very varied. You'll find something in the market for everyone, but what is it that you think sets you apart from other competitors?
I think the most important thing is the personalized touch that we offer.
All right.
Including, obviously, our pricing is genuinely, I would say, beats the market rate. And obviously the fact that we're available on WhatsApp almost, I wouldn't say 24/7, but let's not get messages at 2 a.m. but, so because we have a bigger team as well, somebody's available to answer you most of the time. So just that touch of, okay, my piece is safe, my idea is going to translate well, is a comfort that we offer, which most shops fail to offer. In fact, when I started the business, I used to physically handwrite every single thank you note.
It's a lovely touch.
Yes, and it's again to make you feel that you're not just a customer to us. Now you are a family, and on the card it still says "Welcome to the piece of your family," because we're all growing together.
Absolutely. And that's great to hear. And I think that's what jewelry is sometimes to people. It's something that's connected to it. And it's not just for women, for men.
Yeah. We're actually coming up with a Father's Day collection for June.
Wonderful to hear.
So that'll be something, we're also really excited. That's the first time we're doing something like that.
I'm sure that's going to be a success as well. I think when we met last, we also talked about technology. We talked about e-commerce and technology and social media being a key driver for your success as well. So if you could tell us a little about it and how that has worked out since,
So we started on social media.
Right.
In fact, even before we had a website, we had an Instagram page, which blew up, which was our main source of customer and us interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we're almost up to, I think, 80,000 followers,
Thank
which is quite a decent amount for online business,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're selling high value items in
Correct.
terms of gold and diamonds.
Correct.
People are skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be very honest with
Mm-hmm.
you. But again, the fact that we are an established organization with
Right.
sister company of Pure Gold Jewelers, been in the market for over 35 years, that comfort comes. Soon we'll be launching a lot of our collections at Pure Gold.
Mm-hmm.
So when people do want to come and see them in person, that'll be a nice touch to
Okay.
add. But yes, sorry, going back to social media, it's been the key driver for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been, now I think the world is so digital that if you want anything with the ease of being at your home or your own space,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to pick that. And that worked in our favor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, do I have to go to the mall? Do I have to park? Do I really want to go up? Do I, you know, so all those things really helped us to be present online.
True.
As opposed to just in a retail space.
Are you going to open stores in the future, or you know, right now it's just Pure
We
Gold?
never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we
yeah.
hope to see you. We hope to see having your.
But then again, when that happens, obviously it's nice for people to come and see what we have to offer. Very rarely would it be that they're buying that, because if I've displayed a family of 4 in yellow gold, you might say, no, I want in rose gold. So you're still ordering
Yes.
customized.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, so which is why a storefront for us is not the best way to move forward right now. But yes, eventually when we're, you know, so large, hopefully one day, that you'll see a piece of you in all the malls.
Well, that's good to hear. Just again, I think what the online platform does is, you can have customers from anywhere.
Correct.
I think it gives customers across the region, across the world, access to you. And have you seen that in your customers?
Yes. So even when I started, when I
Segment.
said when we were only on Instagram, we were, when I first order came from the US, and I was like, wow. And now it's honestly so regular to have international orders just as equally as we have local orders. Even Australia is very big. Obviously US, Canada, UK. Obviously the biggest market for us is GCC.
Yes.
UAE is the primary, followed by GCC, followed by worldwide. Again, because I think even in the US and Australia and Canada, from what I've understood, is they're not really focused on quality, you know, and which people have picked up on, because everybody's a smart shopper now.
Yes.
And when they convert into their own currency, obviously they have price benefit. Then they have better quality for the same price.
Absolutely.
So why wouldn't you?
And I hope to see that grow and hear more about it in future conversations that we have with you. Coming back to
We
your
might even open internationally.
Well, this is the place to announce
Yes.
it. You were talking about a collection when we started this conversation. So if you could talk a little bit about your new collections and the kind of trends that they represent, that you're seeing customers also prefer. Would love to hear about it.
So mostly customers still prefer personalized jewelry, which, like I said, is unique. Everybody wants something that nobody else has. Even so one thing we've noticed on which we're launching now is colors, especially with summer and spring coming. A lot of people want color added to their jewelry, whether it's a birthstone, whether it's enamel jewelry, or whether it's necklaces with aspects of florals and hearts. Obviously, hearts are all-time favorites of every woman. Hearts do really well, and now our new collection revolves around colors and hearts. So that's something we're really excited about. That is something I worked really hard on. Those are going to be a different price point, but again, it is something you'll wear and you forgot you want it, and it works from day to night.
Wow. We look forward to hearing more about that, and obviously checking the website to see the latest collections.
Thank you.
The other thing that you know that always struck me about you from the time I've met you is you're a very strong female entrepreneur. You push the cause for women in business as well. What advice would you to give other female entrepreneurs that they can take heart and say, you know, we can succeed, we can do this, whether it's jewelry or any other, you know, hospitality, fashion? What sort of advice would you give them?
There's 2 things I would say. One is there's no such thing as perfection. If you're trying to achieve it between your home and your family life and your work life, There's no such thing as perfection. You're going to have to strike a balance. Some days you'll be 100% as a mother. Some days you'll be maybe 60%. But that in no way means you as a person are falling short. It's normal. It's human. Men don't think like that. Why do we have to? Men don't think twice before asking help. But we somehow think, oh, no, I can't ask for help. Yes, you can. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we ask for help is how we grow. The biggest thing is to be able to come out of your shell. And for me, this, again, I would credit back to my dad, where he actually never thought of me as either or gender. Mm-hmm. He was just like, okay, come on, get to work, regardless of what gender you were. He obviously, coming from an Asian background, yes, we have privileges of an elder son and, the youngest daughter. So in that way, I had been pampered a lot more. So those benefits, yes. Mm-hmm. But in terms of encouraging women, like, it's so important for them to not compare. Also, you can't look at somebody else's life and wish you had that. There's always somebody above you, but there's also millions under you. If you look at anybody around you, you don't know what's their story. And the minute you understand that everybody has their own success and struggles, you will focus only on your success.
Thank you for being so honest about it. And I'm sure our viewers and listeners will, take heart from it and be inspired. Just before we sign off, if you could tell us where your collection's available, we could tell our viewers and listeners.
I do want to add one thing before we do end. I very strongly believe in giving back. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge advocate for eradicating hunger around the world. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, that cause is extremely close to my heart. Right. So every order that we receive, mm-hmm. regardless of its value, we feed one person around the world. Mm-hmm. Because I just think all of us, all 8 billion of us now, do what we do just to feed ourselves or to feed our families. Mm-hmm. And the fact that there are people who unfortunately can't afford that one meal a day is just painful. It's just, we have to stop that. And whatever little way we can do. We've recently received a certificate from the International Charity Organization in the UAE mm-hmm. for our contribution to them, because mm-hmm. like I said, that cause is extremely special to me. And every year we do like 1 order, 1 meal, but during Ramadan we do 1 order and 2 meals. Mm-hmm. This year we did 1 order and 3 meals.
Wow, okay.
Because I believe the more you give back, the more you get. It might not be financial benefit, but it might be your soul is at peace. Right. So let's all of us try and achieve some kind of soul peace by giving back.
No, and I agree, and that's a really noble cause, and it makes the business more special if people are buying, and I think even to consumers who,
and it's
who buy a piece.
Thankful to everybody. Yes. I'm genuinely so thankful to everybody. Right. If they didn't order, okay, yes, of course, I'd still be doing my part from the side, right. Which I hope that in my own capacity I'll never stop. But yes, your little, 2 pieces or 1 piece order even has given me that push that, that 1 extra person is fed, that 3 extra people are fed. So a big, big thank you to all my customers.
Well, really. That's great. And I think that's the whole value and the that drives piece of you to make a difference, right. to have that piece of jewelry not just mean something to you on a personal level, but also because it has helped somebody. Right. So we thank you for doing that. It's a wonderful thing.
Honestly, I'm just like a zaria from God. That's it.
We wish you tons of success, and like I said, you can buy or you can order a piece of you jewelry on the Instagram page and the website, and for more details, Amreen's story is on the website. Go to gulfbusiness.com, learn more about her journey, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Nisha. Thank you so much.